Hello there, and welcome to the Holocron-Cast! Episode 10, Dan. We're here. We're back. Sith Holocron Dan, Jedi Holocron Tyler, we're here for you. And what are we doing today, Dan? How you doing? How you doing today?
I am the Dan Unleashed.
What does that even mean?
Episode 10.
The Dan Unleashed. So episode Star Wars episode 10 will be called Skywalker's Unleashed. Because the Skywalkers will rise, and then they'll be unleashed in episode 10.
I was going to say Baby Yoda Unleashed.
Yeah, that works for me even better.
That's going to be the title of it.
I thought you were going for like some Force Unleashed bullshit.
I like the Force Unleashed.
I know, but I thought that's what you were going after. I'm like, what does that have to do with the saga? That shit ain't canon. That ain't real.
But it's cool.
I guess.
It's the one piece of Legends I want canon, but I know it contradicts canon now.
Right. Damn. So, we are here today to talk about, break down, and discuss Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I think the Empire might strike back again.
Some might say they have strucketh.
They strucketh again.
We got a little bit of news up top first, though.
What news? Are we canceling the podcast? Are we retiring from podcasting because
I know
we haven't got no views?
I know. No. Damn.
No, we are okay. Let's break it down for you folks. I'm working 60 hours a week. Dan's about to have surgery, and we just don't have time to finish The Road to Skywalker. So, what we are going to do is we are going to release Episode 5, this one. You'll get Episode 6, and then you'll get one more episode where of like predictions and speculation before Rise of Skywalker review. So the idea is, one, we don't have time, and two, I don't want to also review Rise of Skywalker as part of The Road to Skywalker immediately upon release.
We'll be too hyped.
And also, I think it's only fair to... The movies we're reviewing, we've seen multiple times. We know how they connect to the world. We don't know how the sequel trilogy will end. And that could change our opinions on the first two. And also, frankly, there's a lot to discuss about the first two, and we just don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to force content. I don't want to rush it. I want to make quality content that you guys enjoy and the quality content that you guys deserve. So we will be doing episode 5 and 6, and then we'll be stopping. Because then we'll be talking about the sequels a lot afterwards, and we will return to Rise of Skywalker sometime for sure, or The Road to Skywalker, and finish our rankings and review them all. So
probably sometime later on next year, early next year, I would say.
2020, 2021, it'll happen.
I hope before 2021.
We'll see. Well, it depends how we go. That way we can keep doing Mando reviews. We still need to review Fallen Order. Just the time.
A lot of stuff to do, and it's better to judge a saga upon it. It's better to judge a trilogy upon its completion. Yeah.
And, yeah. We don't have time. I hope you understand.
Our 3 viewers will be so
if you're upset, message me. It's okay. We'll talk it out. Well, it's okay. Me and Dan, we'll hear for you. We'll try to...
You just call off the next 3 weeks of work?
Yeah, I'll call off work for you guys if you need me to. Just give me money. No.
Just give me money. Go to our Patreon.
But yeah, so sorry about that. But I feel like doing at least the first 8 works. And the original trilogy. And
the first 6.
Because
the first 8.
Because that way we talk about that, and then we can... A lot of sequel content, a lot of Clone Wars and content will be coming later this year, or early next year, so... We'll be discussing them in depth. To be fair, we bring up The Last Jedi and like The Force Awakens, and I bring up like Rey almost every podcast anyway. So you're getting your fix on that. And plus,
I'm the one who always brings up prequel content. You always bring up sequel content.
And plus, I'm sure you're like, I don't need to hear you talk about Rey for 3 hours right now. Really busy. I'll be talking about Rey forever. So
I'll have to be the one to rein you in.
One of the things I forgot to do is set my stopwatch. I keep forgetting to do that, so I can look at what are we at?
4:30.
Okay.
PM.
How can I fast forward to 4 minutes and 30 seconds?
I don't fucking know.
How do stopwatches work?
I don't think you can fast forward a stopwatch.
I think you can. I'm gonna make it happen. Nope, It's not working, Dan.
What?
Can I do a timer?
How that wouldn't work?
I don't know. Fuck this. Damn it, I forgot. We're fucked.
We're out.
Restart.
Okay.
No, but
just immediately delete.
I'm gonna have you pause wait 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll make the stopwatch get there.
Well, it'll have to be 5 minutes now.
Shit. Okay.
Time.
Why can't you just like edit time? You know, like.
Why
and
can't
we have time to do the podcast?
Why can't we just pause time?
Right. I would love to like actually have
just
a day
not work.
off of work. But surprisingly, doing podcasts is kind of tiring sometimes. Especially because I'm at an elevated level.
Yeah, because you're trying to
speak louder.
You're trying to speak louder, be more clear, trying to not like stutter and make sure there's always something being talked about, no dead air.
It doesn't help that I got garbage sleep last night too.
Yeah.
Garbage sleep.
Garbage.
To be fair, I don't even know if I slept last night.
Savage.
Oppressed. So, our favorite episode of Clone Wars no.
Yeah, no derails this time.
No, we're gonna go off.
Well, yeah, derails.
So,
but
Dan, what do you think?
I think we should be a little bit more focused though.
Of barbecue sauce.
So, what are your thoughts on Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Have Strucketh?
What are my thoughts on this movie?
Yes.
Are we gonna start there?
Yeah, it's where we usually start.
No, Dan. I'll tell you where we're gonna start. Dan, when was the first time you saw this movie?
When I was... Yeah, I got all thrown off now because I was used to Solo and Rogue One where it was like, oh, we just saw it at the same time. This one's much like A New Hope where I don't really remember.
Yeah.
It's just a primordial existence to me. It's just always been there.
Yeah. See, mine is the same as A New Hope 2. Saw it a few weeks before The Force Awakens came out the first time in full. I had seen bits and pieces of it before, but I remember, like I said, seeing Yoda on screen, like, just on TV, because I was aware of his existence. Also because, too, growing up, the I am your father moment of this movie is just such a part of pop culture.
Yes.
That you knew that line before even seeing these movies. Like, I knew that. Because that line is like, people are like, Luke, but he never says Luke.
Yeah.
And, like, it's always been, like, that has always been part of, like, the zeitgeist of culture, and, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's... So, like, I knew that. I knew Baby Yoda, like...
Baby Yoda?
Not Baby... Sorry. Can't get him off the brain, you know? But, yeah, so... First time, okay. Thoughts on the movie, Dan. What are your thoughts on the Empire and how it struck back from the Hope anew?
As a kid, this one and Revenge of the Sith were always the two that I would always constantly watch. I would just switch back between this and Sith every time.
Why not this and
Phantom Menace?
Or
Phantom Menace is just too good.
Too good? Too much culture
too
there?
Too much culture.
It was too Martin Scorsese for you? Too cinematic?
Too cinema. But yeah, this one was always one that I loved, even as a kid. I know this is like the one... It always seems weird, like... I kind of have the hipster mentality, where, like, I usually am not a fan of the most popular one, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know, I have, like...
too cool to like
No, it's
Empire.
not that I'm too cool, it's just that I usually don't agree with, like, whatever the most popular one is.
So you don't agree that this is one of the best Star Wars
movies?
Oh,
no, it absolutely is. I'm saying this is the one where I am, like, with the common opinion.
Mm.
I just feel I'm like a...
To be fair,
there should
Revenge
be,
of the Sith is pretty popular among Star Wars.
There should be a term...
More popular than it should be.
There should be a term for, like, you know how there's unintentional celibacy, that's an incel? There should be unintentional hipster.
So, like, reverse Derek.
Yes. I'm not intentionally a hipster, but I feel like my opinions often align with hipsters.
Yeah. That's
fair. For no good reason.
That's
like,
fair.
Just randomly, except for with this series.
At least it's not intentional. I hate when people hate things just because
they're popular. Yeah, no, I've never been like that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I would hate Star Wars.
That's true. You would hate Star Wars. Vader would not be your favorite character.
No, he wouldn't.
You'd be like, I love Rose Tico, and the way she just...
You mean Admiral Piet.
Admiral Piet.
Admiral Piet is true perfection in human form.
The true savior of the Empire is the ice cream man.
This one's definitely... I've always held the opinion that whether or not this one's my actual favorite, I will always say this one is the best as a movie.
It's always hard picking a favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Because you love them all so much except the Phantom Menace like your children, you know?
The Phantom Menace is like the stepchild.
Yeah, you're here. I've accepted you.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I just ignore you and pretend you don't exist. But like,
you gotta
feed him. You gotta give him some love every.
You
now
gotta
and
pay
then.
taxes.
Yeah. See, I remember like first time watching this movie, I'm like, because you've heard so much Empire.
I was gonna say, I feel like it was really overhyped.
But I remember being like, I honestly remember the first time watching, like, holy shit, this was not overhyped. This was actually like fucking great.
Because I imagine if I saw it after hearing all the hype, I feel like it would be overhyped for me. Because I'm a person that things get overhyped really easy for me.
Yeah.
Like
I like to give into the hype sometimes, you know?
No, I'm like, I wish overhyping didn't ruin things for me.
Like, I'm, like, insanely hyped for the Rise of Skywalker, but it's also not, like, at a level where I'm just, like, constantly, like... I remember when The Last Jedi was coming out, I was like, this is gonna be the best fucking Star Wars movie ever made. I was, like, so excited, and, like...
And now you're not?
No, I'm still really excited, but it's not, like...
So overbearing?
Yeah, because we have so much Star Wars content, it's not, like... It's not overbearingly, like, there's so much weight on it as, like, Last Jedi was. You know
Because that was the only thing.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And that's what happened to me with, like, Empire kind of, too. Like, there wasn't, like, weight on it. And then, I wasn't into the hype because I wasn't as into the community and, like, hearing, oh my god, Empire's perfect. Empire's the best movie ever made. Mainly because George Lucas didn't direct it, but, you know. But, yeah. This is one of the best Star Wars movies. It's constantly... There's no dull moment.
Yeah.
The characters are great together. See, Luke can be annoying sometimes, as always, but, like...
He's a lot better.
He's a lot better. I love Han and Leia's relationship so much. How they just, like... They love each other, but they just fucking can't admit to each other that they love each other.
See, this one, it feels way more endearing to me than it did in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Probably just because they actually know each other by now. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that was always off-putting to me about A New Hope was that they had just met and were so rude to each other. But this one, it's like they've known each other for 2 years, so it feels way more like...
Yeah.
Like,
they've been working together
more like playful-ish, kind of.
I also like how Empire's decent, like getting shit done.
Yeah, the Empire, that's a big reason why it's a lot of people's favorite, honestly, because this is the only one where the villains are actually, like...
It's that weird thing, too, like, you can juxtapose this movie to The Last Jedi a lot, which gets a lot of hate, like, the Rebels mostly fail in this movie, but people hated that about The Last Jedi, that they failed.
Yeah.
Like, whatever they did served no purpose or whatever. It's funny. Like, the bombs dropping, you know?
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Like, it's like people have revisionist history about these movies. And, like, I don't know why they're so harsh on new ones when they do very similar things a lot of the times.
Well, my problem has always been... holding things to different levels of scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can look back on any of the movies and find flaws.
Mm-hmm.
They all have flaws.
Except Phantom Menace.
Yeah, you're right. Phantom Menace is perfect.
Yeah, well, like Solo 2, the one flaw is they don't show the dice enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they all have flaws.
But, like, they all have flaws, but people will put aside the flaws for the old ones because they love the old ones. But for the new ones, it'll be the only thing that matters.
Yeah. That's why Star Wars needs to keep being for children. And, like, Star Wars is not only for children, but, like, that's, like, when people get mad about that, it's like, yeah, everybody grows up with their Star Wars, and they always have affinity for their Star Wars, and that's okay. Not every Star Wars movie is going to be exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And, like, that's okay. Like, we had the prequels. Our parents and the people before them, the worst of them, had the original trilogy. They just hate everything. And kids grow up today love the sequels. Honestly, I'm kind of part of that. I love the sequels more than any of them. I just love them. You know what I mean?
You're an out of era.
I just like modern Star Wars. I just like modern films.
Yeah, well, I've always been a defender of all of them.
I can't defend the Phantom Menace.
I can defend...
Or the Clone Wars movie.
I can defend...
And the Christmas special.
I can defend...
And the Ewok movies.
That's not canon. Ewok movies isn't canon. I don't have to defend it. Neither is Christmas special. I don't gotta defend that either.
Oh, that shit canon.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
The actual special isn't. Parts of it, the ideas of it are canon. The movie itself is not canon.
Not my Star Wars, then.
Life Day is canon.
I'm done with Star Wars, then.
Life Day is canon. Chewbacca's family
canceled.
Is canon. But the events of the Christmas special are not canon. But
I
like,
don't even know what happens in the Christmas special, to be honest.
it
Like the events, I know like parts of it, but like
yeah. Well, it's almost like a sketch comedy. I feel
that's awesome. I want sketch comedy Star Wars.
Chewbacca's,
Actually, no, I don't.
Chewbacca's wife with an apron on watching a cooking TV show.
That's weird.
Chewbacca's son watching like a 10-minute YouTube tutorial about how to build like a Lego set or something.
That's cool.
It wasn't like a Lego set, it was like a robot or something.
Learn how to build a robot the right way with YouTube tutorials.
But like, I can defend the concept of Phantom Menace.
yeah.
There were okay concepts.
Mm-hmm. Execution, another story.
Poor.
George Lucas,
Poor.
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 Not literally, because he owns so much fucking Disney stock now that he needs to fuck off and not talk about it anymore.
Well, are you saying you don't want to see his movies?
Who, Lucas's films?
Yeah, his private movies.
I don't want to see his face ever again.
Fuck. What if he's in Rise of Skywalker?
Worst Star Wars movie.
What if
George Railroad Martin in it? Best Star Wars movie.
George Railroad Lucas in it? Even better.
Oh god, they fuse.
Because he was in Revenge of the Sith. Lucas.
Yeah, you said that. I forgot about that.
He was a blue guy. His daughter was in it right next to him as well, I think.
George Lucas had a daughter?
And his slave was
That's
in it,
crazy.
Hayden Christensen.
The movie?
In
He
Revenge of
played
the
Anakin.
Sith. Yeah, he played Anakin.
That's pretty cool.
Lucas keeps him at the ranch nowadays.
Yeah. Well, he lets him out more. Like,
He's not
he was at
allowed to leave.
Celebration.
Yeah, he let him out for Celebration. That's the first time he's been
He's been
seen.
letting him out a lot more lately.
It's surprising. I think Disney bought him.
Who, Lucas or
No, Hayden.
Hayden? Yeah,
My
that's
phone
fair.
buzzed. Shut the fuck up!
Okay.
So back to Empire.
So back to Empire. Yeah. A very good movie.
Very, very swell film. Quite, you know what I would say? I would say it's a great piece of cinema.
Yeah. Well, these movies, we don't talk about it enough, but like these movies really did change cinema. Like
As
the
a
way
whole.
films are made.
Yeah, honestly.
Like even the prequels in a way with CG and stuff. Like these movies
For better
are
or
very
worse.
important, you know. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back. And well, any more thoughts on the film, Danny boy?
I'm glad that the villains were finally competent.
Yes, that's good. That's good. That's quite good.
We need more of it. Star Wars has a good track record with the main villains being competent, but a piss poor track record with like the troops actually doing stuff.
Yeah, troops are always bad.
Like I want to see the troops,
The bad troops, or even the good troops.
any of them, because all of them are pretty fucking incompetent. I want to see good, like competent soldiers on both sides that aren't just the leaders. That's why I was hoping, like, I really wanted the First Order to be like a smaller task force of like elite soldiers.
Yeah, but I also kind of like that the First Order is just like
Hyperbolic Empire.
the Hot Topic version of the Empire. They're just trying to be Empire, but they're just not competent enough. They're just trying to relive in the glory past.
I mean,
I kind of like that.
Other than Empire Strikes Back, the Empire is pretty incompetent.
Yeah. But like, I kind of like the idea of the First Order just being like the Hot Topic version, where it's like we're just bad too. Like we're just trying to be like this thing that's cool, but we just.
I like that they're the Hyperbolic Empire, where they're just the Empire cranked up to 11.
But like even less competent. Like even Kylo is less competent.
Well, because he's so emotionally damaged. And, the First Order is very, like... I forgot what we were saying.
Sorry, we had to pause real quick. An important message.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, but I like Kylo being emotionally damaged. Makes
Yeah,
him
like,
annoying.
it also makes more sense him being incompetent, because he's like an emotionally stunted child.
I really like the idea right now that for our Empire review, we're talking a lot about the sequels.
Well, but we're comparing the Empire and incompetence.
No, I don't know. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I want to talk about the sequels mainly, more than anything.
But, like, I want to see more ground troops be competent. Both sides. That's why
if they're both incompetent, that's fine with me.
But, like, that's why
I want to see Rose be competent,
But that's why I like the clones, because they're surprisingly competent.
Yeah, well, they were made to be competent.
Yeah, that's why I like them.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
But I want more of that. Is
you
what
want
I'm saying.
more fake people to be competent.
Just to have an actual army that is worth a damn. Like the one instance of real incompetence of the Empire in this movie is when the two Star Destroyers ram into each other somehow on accident while they're chasing the Falcon.
Right.
Like, how the fuck do you mess that up that bad?
Yeah.
At least that was the only one time. They kicked ass.
How did that
the rest of this
happen?
film.
We're better than this. But yeah. Okay, let's get down into
Let's just jump into it.
So, we're breaking this one down into 3 sections. Hoth,
3 acts, one might say.
So, a 3-act structure. Hoth, Dagobah, Bespian.
Bespian Andor.
Yep. So, Dan, what do you like about Hoth?
I love everything about Hoth.
I like nothing about Hoth.
I worked in Hoth.
What were the Tartons like?
The Tartons?
The Tartons.
What were the Tartars like?
Where did they have SpaghettiOs?
They had worms in their guts.
Yeah.
Like in this movie.
I always thought
it looked like worms when Han cut the Tauntaun open.
It does. It looks gross.
It looked grody as fuck. Hey, Luke was unconscious.
I'm surprised you didn't throw up when you were watching it.
That probably will trigger someone watching.
Someone like spiders came out of it.
No, the no, like, you know how some people don't like the sound of people throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like everything about Hoth. I like that it's, you know, it makes sense for a remote rebel base because you just want to go to somewhere where life wouldn't actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I like all the probe droids being sent out. The battle's awesome. Finally, competency, even though the AT-ATs have one of the dumbest weaknesses ever. But, I mean, they kick a lot of ass.
Their weakness is the fact that they're just so big. That they're like...
Well, their weakness is the fact that they have legs, not treads.
Yeah.
If you had those things, but with treads, what would they have done?
See, that's why they hated that the thing in The Rise of Skywalker had treads, because they're like, oh shit, they're competent now. In our movies, they weren't competent.
I mean, to be fair, even in the prequels, you have AT-ATs, which have 6 legs. Those can't be toppled.
Man, what happened to the Empire in between? Like, it's like they were like made like later, you know.
Well, because like even in Rebels, we see the AT-AT climb up the side of an AT-AT and just blast its neck. Yeah. AT-ATs are 100 times better than AT-ATs.
No, for sure. AT-ATs are just cool looking.
AT-ATs are cool looking, but are the easiest things to destroy. But it's only a problem when the new things are better. You know, where logically progression would make something better.
Just pop them in the kneecap.
Not in the past, where it wouldn't make sense for things to be better.
Right? You know, storytelling, cinema. This is a Martin Scorsese picture.
This is
a picture.
That hurts me.
I think that's almost worse than cinema in some ways, describing a movie as a picture. This picture.
It's a picture. God, I want to die.
Sorry we keep bringing up Martin Scorsese. Like, he makes good movies, but he's just such a pretentious fuck.
I've never seen... I can't judge any of his films. I've never seen any of them.
I've only seen a few.
But I don't like pretentious people.
Adam Driver's in one of them.
Well, that can't be that bad.
I haven't watched it because it's a 3-hour movie about God.
Nice!
Qui-Gon's in it, too. He plays, like, the head Bible dude, and they're trying to find him.
Oh, that sounds right up my alley, dude.
Right? I'm gonna watch it
someday. I love artsy movies.
I don't think it's an artsy movie, but it's just about God. It sounds weird. Artsy movies are low budget.
Whenever I hear someone describe something as cinema, it feels like it's, you know, meant to be an artistic expression.
Well, isn't that every creative thing ever made?
But, like, way hyperbolicized.
Except Naruto. That's not an artistic expression. That's just garbage on a plate.
Well, neither's Bleach.
Yeah. Most animes.
Most animes. You know, sometimes things just are made for entertainment, goddammit.
Yeah, like those, but those are bad.
Yeah.
When it's more artsy, it's better. But not, like, completely, like, artsy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate when it's like that. When it's, like, way over
Star
the top.
Wars is... Like, Last Jedi is kind of artsy. But not, like, artsy.
That's the thing. I hate when it's artsy. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Because it just feels so pretentious.
Right. You know Rian Johnson... I just like talking about The Last Jedi. You know Rian Johnson... Never mind. Okay, fuck it. Okay, let's go.
Let's get back to Empire before people get mad.
Hoth. I don't think our 3 friends who watch this are going to be mad.
I mean, for future tense. The videos are up on YouTube forever. So
I honestly can't wait to get our friends' reactions to the Rogue One podcast.
Honestly, can't wait until we get viewers.
Right? We need to stop talking about that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so, Hoth. Yes, Hoth is awesome.
I like when Han's trying to leave and he says your worshipfulness.
Yes, I love how he keeps calling her your worship and your worshipfulness. I just love how they're like, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna miss me." Blah, 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 blah. Like, I love their relationship. Like,
and they're just walking away. You could use a good kiss.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
He's like, you're gonna. Well, because she was like, "Oh, I would never," or whatever, and he's like, "You could use a good kiss."
I don't remember that. Oh god, that's kind of creepy. But yeah, that's not that bad.
Well, either that or he said, "I could use a good kiss." It sounds like "I," but the subtitle said "you." I always thought he said, "I could use a good kiss."
Yeah.
Because it makes more sense in the context, because he's like, what, you were gonna leave, you thought I was gonna leave without giving you a goodbye kiss?
Yeah.
I could use a good kiss. But the subtitle said you, so
I don't think...
I feel like it's
Maybe
I.
it's you.
I feel like it's I, though.
I don't know, I just love how they're, like, super mad at each other all the time.
Yeah, they're so pissed at each other.
He's like, you're not gonna say bye to me, you're not gonna get mushy about it.
Don't get mushy on me, princess.
Han's really good in this movie.
Han, wait up. Yes, your worshipfulness.
One of the things I like about rewatching these is I like Han a lot more after rewatching these. I've always been neutral on Han. I'm like, he's cool.
I've always loved his humor.
Yeah. Makes me like the solo Han less, too. Not that it's bad, but you know.
You know, but when you're younger, your humor is always not quite as developed.
Yeah, I guess.
But then you have... I like how the Luke sees a meteorite crash, and it's the probe droid, but then the Wampa just yeets him.
Yeah, yeets him.
The Wampa just killed that Tauntaun in one fell swing.
Right.
Wampa
almost killed Luke in one fell swing, you know?
He does plus 100% damage to Rebels.
Right.
With his basic.
That's fair.
And he has high counter chance.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
If he feels you getting hit, he's swinging.
He be swinging.
The fun thing about the Wampa section is, like, the reason Luke gets hurt by the Wampa, as we know, I don't know if this is for you guys out there, but, like, Mark Hamill got in a car crash before filming.
Yeah.
So they had to,
write a reason for Luke to get scarred.
Yeah, because he's all scarred up and they had to yeah.
They had to find some logic
to why he looks the way he did, and I think they did a good job.
Oh, that's definitely a good reason.
It's nice seeing him all bloodied. We need more blood and gore in Star Wars. We need, like, Game of Thrones level. No.
I actually do want that at some point.
If they do Old Republic, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Old Republic with, like, more gruesome, mature stuff.
I want, like, to see, like, more, like, swords that aren't lightsabers. Like, before, like, young Sith being like, I'm not good enough for a lightsaber. I have to use this blade, you know?
Vibro blades.
Sure, I don't know.
That's what they used before lightsabers, were vibro blades. It was a sword, but it vibrated.
They didn't cauterize, did they?
I don't think so.
Fun stuff.
I can't imagine they would. They're not superheated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Wampas. I like that they're just Sasquatches.
Yeah, Bigfoot Yetis.
Or yeah, Yetis, not Sasquatch. And then you have the whole scene of Luke being upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine how much blood was in his head at that point.
Right, he's like bleeding
God
from the head.
Damn.
No, he was bleeding from the head, so it was just coming out. You know, it would draw to his head.
So his legs are just, like, useless at that point, then.
Right.
All the blood's just gone. He's just purple from the waist down.
That's why he's in a wheelchair in the next part of the movie and the rest of the franchise.
Oh, I always remember him fighting Vader in a wheelchair.
Right? It was such an epic moment. Because only he takes the wheels off and they become two lightsabers like Inquisitors. And it's
like he just flies around with them.
And that's how his hand gets cut off. He cuts off his own hand on accident.
Oh, I want to see your version of Star Wars.
And then he's like, Luke. And then Luke's like, I'm yo daddy. And we gonna have a kid together. And his name's Baby Yoda.
Who was this written by? Is this a Bollywood movie?
This is written by, what's his name? What's his name?
I don't know who you're looking up.
This is written by,
George Lucas? Yeah, you're right.
Fuck. I was talking about him earlier. Remember the guy who wrote the bad episode 9?
Oh.
This was written by Alan Dean Foster. Mainly known for writing books back in the day and the novelization of episode 4 and episode 7. He's a bad writer, though. You should see what he would do for episode 9.
Yeah, give it a
Real
Google.
Bad. Give it a Google. Alan Dean Foster, episode 9.
Alan Dean Foster?
Yeah. That's bad.
Look it up.
Yeah. He wrote that. That sounds like something he would write.
Actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, and then Luke runs down to the blizzard and just passes out. I like how this is, like, the thinnest Obi-Wan has ever looked, because he's, like...
The thinnest?
Or not thinnest, but, like, the most transparent.
Yeah. Well, he's a Force ghost.
No, I mean even more transparent than on like Dagobah, where he has like a glow to him almost, and he's like more present.
Yeah.
Here it's like you can't see shit other than his face. Kind of funny. And I like Luke just going, Ben!
And then he's like, 3PO!
3PO!
But yeah.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff on Hoth. I like how the Empire like has the probes there, and they blow it up, and then like the Admiral is like, oh, it's probably nothing. We have thousands of probes everywhere, and Vader just walks up and is just like, that's it, we're going there.
I like how and then like Han's about to leave. He keeps telling Leia he's going to leave, and that's where they have their fun back and forth of them being mad at each other. And then, of course, he goes to get Luke.
Yeah, he has to go and get his buddy.
Which is a very Han thing to do. He's like, I don't want to do this, but he does it anyway.
Well, I also like how quickly he, like, because 3PO was like, Commander Luke hasn't checked in, and then Han just, like, pushes him away and goes to the deck officer and is like, find Luke, where is he? And then he immediately runs out there to go and get him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's like, it's my buddy.
3PO!
3PO! And they leave 3PO there. Sad times.
Yeah. Where's Chewie during all this? Where he is most of the movie? Fixing something.
Fixing?
The Falcon or 3PO. He's constantly trying to fix something this whole movie.
Throughout the entire time that they're on Hoth, Chewie's trying to fix the Falcon. Yeah. He's like disassembling it when they're trying to leave, and Han's all pissed about it. Yeah.
Another fun moment while this is going on that you brought up, which I didn't notice, we probably wouldn't have really paid attention to when we were watching, is when C-3PO's talking to Han. Han puts his hand over the droid's mouth, and he just, like, stops talking. Like,
it just works.
Like, it works. I don't know if that's 3PO being intelligent and polite, or, like, that actually fucking works.
Well, I can't imagine it. I feel like it's 3PO's protocol.
Yeah.
To just, like...
He's like, Master told me to do something, I do it.
Han's not his master.
Well, they're all his master. They're all his friends. I don't fucking know.
But then I like how the fleet pulls up too close to Hoth and the rebels detect them and have time to prepare, so Vader just kills the Admiral.
Right.
We pulled out a light speed too close to the planet, so they detected us. All right. And then he promoted Captain Piet or whatever he said to Admiral.
Admiral, yeah.
Admiral Piet. An interesting detail is that between episodes 4 and 5, there is a 2-year gap. And I believe it was, like, right after the destruction of the Death Star, Palpatine named Vader, like, the head of
Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Like, the head of the military. Pretty much Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. And so this is why Vader can get away with killing them in this movie, because in A New Hope, he was strangling that one officer and Tarkin told him to stop, so he stopped. Because he wasn't higher ranked than Tarkin at the time. Mm-hmm. But now he's head of the military.
Right.
So he can kill whoever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
That's why he kills, like, 8 Imperials in this movie.
Yeah, he does a lot of damage this movie. He kills more Empire people than the Rebels do, pretty much. Yes. Because the Rebels really don't kill anybody.
They destroy 2 walkers.
There you go.
And one of them's destroyed by just Luke.
Yeah. Luke's buddy dies.
Oh, rest in peace, Dax.
Dax. Who Dax?
Who Dax? You can see,
Hobby.
We
haven't mentioned Hobby. They said if you watched Rebels, he's in Rebels. They used that character in Rebels at one point.
He was with Wedge in the Imperial Academy. He has a big Legends backstory, as everyone does.
His name's Hobby.
I think he's the blonde one, right?
Yes.
That's why he was, like, noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also see the sequel to Rogue One.
Dude, there's not a lot of blondes in Star Wars.
But what about the sequel to Rogue One? We see Rogue 2.
Fuck off.
But we do!
Yes. I kind of like that little touch of calling that thing Rogue One, because they started it.
And they never call anyone Rogue One in Empire.
Mm-hmm. It's Rogue 2, Rogue 3, Rogue 7,
Rogue 11, Rogue 10.
Right. Yeah, I just like that.
Yeah. I like all this stuff. I like that, you know, as dumb, like, tactically it is that the tow cable works, I do kind of like that.
No, it's like, not dumb, technically. It makes sense. Trip the motherfucker.
Well, I mean, it's dumb that the designer of the AT-AT didn't think of that, is what I mean.
Well, that's fair.
It's a great tactic. You know, it's brilliant on the Rebel side, because I like that it's like they can't be destroyed by blasters until one of them falls over and then they blow it up.
That's weird.
I think it's...
You couldn't have shot in the head in the air.
I don't know. I know there's some explanation behind it as to why why it happens like that, but I don't remember what it is. Why it can only be destroyed after it's toppled, I don't know.
I don't know. They probably explained it in a book or something.
There's some explanation. I don't think they have shields.
No, they don't.
It's just that they're thick.
They're thick boys. If they had shields, it'd be like, well, let's put the shield like 2 inches away from the leg so we can't trip.
Well, no, physical objects can still go through shields. It's just blaster bolts can't.
No, they need to make better shields then.
That's how shields always worked in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like in Clone Wars, Rex would just stick his blaster through a droideka's shield and shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can always just walk through a shield, unless it's a ray shield. Ray shields are different. But those are, like, expensive.
Top dollar for ray
and
shields.
you know one thing about the Empire, they don't like...
They cheap as fuck.
They cheap as fuck. TIE fighters were literally produced as a... they were produced like B-1 battle droids, where it's just a conveyor belt just shitting out TIE fighters constantly.
Right, and the people making those, working on those lines, were just, and Stormtroopers just, they're like, okay, give them 1 week training course on how to do dumb stuff, and you're promoted.
You're a captain now.
I'm a captain now.
You're a captain. Oh wait, you actually went through training? Oh, you're a captain now.
I'm a captain now.
Yeah, unless you're in Vader's Legion, then you actually have to be good.
Yeah.
Because Vader's the only one who knows how to get shit done.
And yeah, they destroy the AT-AT.
They destroy 2 of them, and then there's still like I think 3 or 4 left when they finally escape. Because it's like we
Vader's
can't.
coming for them.
Vader's walking in the base. You got
C-3PO's lagging slowly behind.
C-3PO! Get out of here, Goldenrod, or you'll be a permanent resident.
I like that. Han's so good at those names. How many of those do you think were improvised? Like we get the fluffy looking nerf herder from Leia. That was improvised. That's a great line. I know the line later from Han, the "I love you, I know" was improvised.
Yes.
And
I think it was written as I love you too originally, but Harrison was like, Han wouldn't say that.
Yeah. And that he wanted it.
He absolutely wouldn't.
I know. God, Han's so cool. I wish I had that kind of confidence.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, they realize they're out of time. The transports fly away, all the rebels escape.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all of them, but, a good number of them. Anyone who wasn't in the trenches, they all got fucked.
Right. Get fucked, nerds.
Suicide mission. And yeah, then they all escape. Vader's just walking... I like Vader just walking through Echo Base.
Yeah, I just like how he walks everywhere. Like, when we play Battlefront, I like to just walk with him.
Yeah.
Because he's intimidating.
We never really see him run, because I don't think he can.
He's like Michael Myers. He just walks through, but he gets shit done.
He gets there, he
gets fucking shit done.
No matter how fast you run...
You can't escape him.
He walks faster.
Even though it looks like he's barely moving most of the time.
So as soon as the camera's off him, he just uses that force speed.
Right.
Not that kind of speed.
Oh, not that kind of speed?
What do you think is in his helmet?
Pudding.
Speed.
I was hoping to be pudding.
Also, we see Vader's flagship, which just looks so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big complaint about that in the next movie.
Yeah? I don't even remember, man.
Nisa. It's such a cool, I love how it's just this enormous Star Destroyer. It makes so much more sense than, a Death Star or a Star Killer base. Just build, a Dreadnought instead.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to manage.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have a whole planet to try and guard.
Right. Fuck it.
And it just looks so cool.
What? Their Star Destroyer?
Yeah, big
I like
Vader's,
the blue on it.
Vader's Executor.
I didn't realize there's so much blue on it. I like the blue little lights.
It has a lot of blue. I like that it has red engines.
Right.
Because they have to be stronger than the blue ones that the Star Destroyers use, that the regular ones use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that design. I love that Vader has his little ball that he just sits in.
Oh, his...
It's a pressurized atmosphere, so he can take off his helmet in there. Because it's,
wearing a helmet 24 hours a day is not good. Not a good time.
Because I think it's...
Try being a mascot.
I think he can take his helmet off in there because there's no, bacteria, so he can't get an infection. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, because he's very damaged in the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, not the brain.
In the brain. In the skin.
Well, obviously the brain, because he believes in the power of the dark side, He's seduced. His brain doesn't work well. He's in love with power. He just wants, He
wants peace, freedom, justice, and security for his new empire.
By killing people.
That sometimes
you gotta do.
Anakin was preaching fascist governments when he was 14, so...
Dude, he was 14 when he married Padme. That's hot.
I don't know how old he was. Or he was 18 or whatever. However old he was.
No one knows how old any of them truly were in those movies.
No.
If you think you know, you're wrong.
They do have actual ages, though.
I don't believe it.
All we know is that Padme was 16 in episode 1.
Anakin was like 2.
Okay.
It's like he's walking around with a binky.
What about Shmi?
Oh, she's like 50.
She's like
no,
80.
she's probably like 38.
She's like 85.
Do you think Shmi and Qui-Gon smashed?
Absolutely. Qui-Gon was a guy who did not follow the code at all. He absolutely smashed.
Yeah, they smashed.
Get
Just like
that
Yoda
image
and
out of your
Yaddle.
head. Yeah, just like Yoda and Yaddle. We get a good shot of Yoda's butt later.
Yeah.
How else do you think Baby Yoda came into existence?
Baby Yoda! Spoilers.
That almost worked. How can you be on the fucking internet and not
if
know?
you're on the internet, you don't know about Baby Yoda.
You just don't use the internet.
Yeah.
How you found our channel but not Baby Yoda, you know? Right? That doesn't cross over very well.
Calculations, not computing.
But I think that just about covers Hoth.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for all. Hoth's a good time.
Hoth is a great time. Another, going back to a consistent theme that I bring up in most of these videos. The first act of this movie, a battle. You know, you have the Tainted Four in Episode 4, Battle of Coruscant Episode 3, the Assassination of Padme Episode 2, tax negotiations in Episode 1.
Poe Dameron fighting Dreadnought in Episode 8. Get it!
The raid on Jakku Episode 7. Everything has an
yeah.
exciting beginning except for Episode 1.
That's why it's not a real Star Wars movie.
Tax negotiations.
Taxes.
C-SPAN, C-SPAN, C-SPAN. When are we going to get more tax negotiations? Do you think that's how Episode 9 will begin?
I think Episode 9 will begin with a shot of Kylo. He doesn't have a shirt on.
God, I hope so.
It's a midnight summer day, and him and Rey are force fishing. What's Rey wearing? A robe. Do they both have their lightsabers in their hand? Yes. What are they doing? They're both in a bathtub tank. Just taking a bath.
BAFTA tank.
Just talking.
Back.
Connecting. Wondering why they hate each other so much. They have a deep love. Dude, they're laying Han!
Okay.
They're laying Han.
Okay, George Railroad Martin.
Dude.
I thought you were about to get into a railroad sex scene there for a minute.
No, I was just trying to be funny, but I don't know if it worked.
I think it was something, that's for sure.
It was something.
So then they go...
As long as it made you feel something. Mad, anger, laughter,
creeped out, uncomfortable.
As long as it makes you feel something, that's all that matters.
The primary emotion that I want people to feel in life is uncomfortable.
I think that covers like almost most of our friends all the time. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, but you're also not completely right.
Yes, I'm not completely right, but...
Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable!
You know what makes me uncomfortable?
Dagobah!
Do you know what makes me uncomfortable?
What? This isn't about Empire Strikes Back, and then...
I was trying to think of a good segue, but I couldn't. Do you know what makes me uncomfortable, Dan?
Dagobah?
One thing we forgot about in Dagobah section, or the Hoth section. Incest. Han, no. Luke and Leia kiss.
Han, well, because
Incest
of Han.
is in Star Wars.
Because of Han.
Because of Han being all snooty and like...
I like how Han dragged Luke into that conversation. Like, boy, I really must have struck a nerve, didn't I, kid? And then Leia just comes over and just locks lips with Luke.
They did, to be fair, though, they did not know they were together. They were brother and sister. But I still just think it's funny.
Incest. Incest. Do you think they ever smashed?
No.
Luke and Leia? You don't think they ever smashed?
No.
Between 5 and 6?
No.
I think they smashed.
No. That's grody.
My head can't... Oh, that's grody. Okay.
Jamie and Cersei? Hell yeah. Luke and Leia? Gross.
I think they smashed between 5 and 6.
I don't want to.
They were holding each other at the end of this one.
Because they heard each other through the Force. They knew they were connected.
Yeah, they knew they were...
So they're like,
we gotta smash!
I don't want to believe that.
I believe it.
No.
They definitely at least made out way more after
I don't like
that.
when people we like are incestual. Like, bad characters incestual, fine. Like, Jamie and Cersei. Like, they're terrible people. Like, even though Jamie's actually a really good character, but... You know what I mean?
Incest.
Okay.
Though, like, basically, Luke basically comes from Space, Alabama.
Do you think if Lucas knew they were going to be brother and sister before that, he'd still keep the kissing?
Absolutely.
Because he did not know.
He would have made him smash.
Georges do that.
Georges do that. Are you saying George Lucas doesn't look like the kind of guy who's into hardcore incest porn? George Lucas is into some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, George Lucas is grody. He's into some grody shit.
He grody.
Yeah, he's into some weird stuff. Like, he thought of Star Wars. He has to be into weird shit. Like, Like, I love Star Wars, but whoever thought about that brains in weird places sometimes. You know what I mean?
You could say that for everyone. Their brain is in a weird place at least some point.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Dagobah.
So
Luke's like, I'm gonna go to Dagobah. I'm not gonna go back and see what happened to my friends.
After Luke's like, we'll meet you at the rendezvous point, and then he just leaves and never comes back.
See, interesting about Luke.
That's how I quit a job one time.
I was
like, I'll be back, and then I didn't come back.
I love how Luke's like always worried about his friends, and that's why he leaves Dagobah eventually. But like, also like, you didn't care enough to meet them at the rendezvous. Like, come on, Luke.
But he's got more important priorities. How is he going to fight Vidar if he doesn't have any training?
That's a good question.
Then, if Ben shows up as a Force Ghost to you, you fucking do what he says.
Hope Kylo's a Force Ghost. Oh, wrong Ben.
Wrong Ben. Old Ben. Old Daka. If old Daka shows up to you as a Force Ghost, you gotta do whatever the fuck she says.
Right?
So, he was just following orders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he went to Dagobah. And then crashed.
Where we meet Yoda. And this is where Yoda's actually good. Unlike the prequels where he's a garbage truck on fire. And just a garbage human who's full of cockiness, hubris, and ignorance.
As all the Jedi were, other than Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Because I love Yoda at Dagobah because he's just so funny, he's so goofy.
Yeah, I love
how he's like playing him. Like that's literally Luke's first test.
Yeah.
And I just love it.
I've always just been such a big fan of the scene when he's trying to steal the light and R2's trying to grab it, and so Yoda just starts hitting R2 with his cane. Mine! 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 I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
And he's like digging through Luke's shit and just throwing it around. Meh. Meh.
As if we've learned anything in the Star Wars, peak Yoda is when you're a baby or when you're so old you're goofy and confusing.
But he's not goofy and confusing in 8, and he's really good there.
Yeah, but he's still, like, very Yoda-y. Old Yoda. He's, like, more wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 100 years in the middle is where it all... Yeah. The 500 years in the
middle. Where it's
the 800 years in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I am the Bendu.
I am the Bendu.
So you have, Luke's being tested. You have R2 not using his jet boosters because those weren't written yet. Because R2's stuck underwater.
Right.
And he gets eaten. And then immediately spat
That's
out.
our obligatory Star Wars monster for the... Oh, no, we have the worm, too.
Yeah, we have the worm. The worm is the obligatory monster, for sure.
Yeah.
I like how R2 basically throws up when Luke's talking to him. He, like, vents out just this, like, sludge.
Yeah.
But I also find it interesting that Luke doesn't speak droid at this point. He still has to use a computer in his X-Wing to talk to R2.
Yeah, that is interesting.
According to the rest of Star Wars, binary is not a hard language to learn.
But Luke, a little dumb boy.
Well, because, everyone who owns a droid can speak their droid's language, it seems.
Yeah. He did have droids in the moisture farm, too. You think he know how they talk.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It just seems funny to me.
Yeah, Luke's
because he's like trying to guess what R2's saying. It's like, well, if you're saying we shouldn't have come here, I'm starting to believe you. Come on, you've known him for 2 years now,
right? Yeah, that is kind of weird. That's really weird. Oh well, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. And yeah, you have I love the whole scene of basically what I consider to be Obi-Wan Ace Attorney trying to debate with Yoda to get Luke trained.
Oh yeah.
Because Yoda just wants to train Leia and not Luke.
Mm-hmm.
So Yoda just has like the 1,000 excuses of like, no, he's impatient, he's too angry, he's too rash, he's too old.
All those are true though.
No, yeah, they're all true, but it's just funny because Yoda, come on, man, you got literally 2 options for who you can train. You can't be that picky.
Right. Yoda does say at one point, there's another hope, right?
Yes.
And that's Rey.
No, that's Leia.
I'm pretty sure it's Rey.
No, it's Leia.
I like to believe it's Rey.
But it's not.
I also like to believe it's Kylo.
Yoda can't see the future.
He is the future.
That's the whole point of the prequels.
I guess. Shit, you're right. Because nobody can feel it.
They think they can see the future.
But they wrong.
But they wrong as fuck. The only one who ever saw the future correctly was Anakin.
Right? People died.
Because he made it happen.
Yeah, I love the idea, though. I really do like the idea of you seeing the future. And you try to prevent it, but then inevitably
That's what makes it happen.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic.
It's very tragic. But because they both knew about Leia, and Yoda always knew Leia was stronger.
Yeah.
But Ben was like, I watched Luke on this dusty rock for 2 decades. He's the one that's getting trained.
And also, it was the 80s. They couldn't sell a female protagonist.
No, I mean,
the movie studios will not allow it.
It's still hard to sell it to Star Wars fans.
Right. Star Wars fans suck most of the time. Except you guys listening. You're the good ones. Roast takeout.
And Star Wars Cantina, you guys are pretty dope.
Yeah, they're pretty cool over there.
I like all the testing with Yoda. I like the 1,000 excuses, because they're all true.
Yeah,
because Luke is very flawed.
Yeah.
He's rash. He always has his mind set on the future, to the horizon.
Do we or not, there is no try. That's why we canceled the podcast. We can't try anymore. We had to tell you guys. It inspired me to be like, okay, we can't do this.
You have the whole training session of Yoda just sitting on Luke's back.
That's hot.
That is hot. And continually making Luke do handstands for some reason.
Gymnast. He's a gymnast. He's trying to train him for the 20. He's training him for the 20 AB parsecs.
Why didn't Luke sit on Rey's back and have her run through, flipping all over the place?
That'd be Luke does get on Daisy Ridley's back on an Instagram photo. That's about it.
I think it would just be funny to see.
You can find that on the internet somewhere. You can find a picture of Luke, Mark Hamill on Daisy Ridley's back.
No, I mean, I want to
not in the movies.
Yeah, I want to see it in the movie, like old man Luke trying to teach Rey.
That'd be weird, though.
He's just like, this is how I learned. Don't worry about it. It's the only way he learned. But then you have, then he trains all of his pupils that way too.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Ben turned to the dark side for He's like, I'm tired of you being my back, bro. You're my uncle. Get off my back.
I have severe back pain now. Right? I was 6 when Mom sent me here.
And your hilt just keeps digging into my back. Your hilt.
Oh, why do you have to take it there? Because incest?
No, lightsaber hilt.
Mr. Air Quotes. He put up the air quotes when he said hilt.
Prove it.
Fuck.
Call me a traitor.
I just think it would be funny. You know that's how Snoke trained Kylo.
No!
I just like the idea of in order to be trained, they have to sit on your back, because that's the first way we saw it. By Star Wars fan logic.
Did Obi-Wan get on Anakin's back?
Well, by Star Wars fan logic, nothing can ever change.
You're right, like bombs can't drop in space.
So you have to have, the master has to mount the student.
Right.
Talking about forbidden relationships, incest, right. And now teacher-student.
Star Wars started off the teacher-student epidemic that plagues our nation today.
Well, it's like how later when Yoda grabs Luke's shoulder, very sensually.
Right.
Not very sensually. I also love how Luke tries to force pull, or not force pull, just lift up the X-Wing, and then just drops it and just gets all mad.
And then Yoda's just like...
And he's like, because at the beginning he's like, I will not fail you, and then Yoda's like, we'll see. And then at the end, it just ends with Yoda just, that is why you fail. Fuck!
He's like, how'd you do that?
Look, it looks like, you asked the impossible, and then goes and pouts. Very Anakin scene. Yeah. And then Yoda just pulls it up.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to show that size doesn't matter. Even though it kind of seems to matter, because Yoda actually strained to lift the X-Wing.
It kind of started to make sense now that, Luke failed to build the Jedi Temple.
Because he failed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he still has the problem of always having his eyes on the horizon.
Yeah, I do like that about him, though. I think it's an interesting character thing.
Well, I mean, what do you expect to happen?
He's worrying about what's going in the future and never lives in the moment.
Also, what do you expect about a guy longing for the horizon when you trap him on a dusty asshole for 20 years?
It's like, I want to see the world.
Come on!
Get off my moisture. See, I love how everything goes back to Yoda's bad plan. Fuck Yoda, dude. Baby Yoda, I'll protect you till I die.
I mean, everyone agreed to send Luke there. It wasn't just Yoda.
Yeah, but
actually, Obi-Wan suggested bringing Luke to the sandy asshole.
Like I said, Obi-Wan's not perfect. He made a mistake. He's one mistake in his life.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Right? Nobody's perfect. Everyone's deeply flawed in a way.
So I like how everyone fails.
Right, especially in The Last Jedi.
And they all fail in this one, too, really.
Yeah. It's a big trope of third movies. Or middle movies.
Middle movies?
Yeah.
Did everyone fail in Attack of the Clones?
Anakin succeeded. He somehow landed Padme.
And he slaughtered the Tuscans like animals.
No, he succeeded, man.
He got out big if true.
He got out big if true.
So Dagobah, is there anything else we should discuss?
Dagobah. Let's talk about the bombs.
Oh yeah, because we have the whole Falcon segment while they're on Dagobah.
Yeah.
They go through an asteroid field because the hyperdrive is broken, and 3PO I do like the bit of 3PO continually trying to bring this up to Han, but Han just keeps telling him shut up and not now, and then they finally try to go to hyperspace, and 3PO's like, I've been trying to tell you!
For an hour!
The hyperdrive is leaking! 3PO! And they're trying to go through, so then they go through the asteroid field.
Yeah, and was it the TIE fighters that dropped the bombs? Or...
That's a little bit later. They're trying to go through, they land in the asteroid, and then while the Empire's hunting them...
Yes, I just want to talk about the bombs dropping.
Yeah.
Because a big complaint of the beginning of The Last Jedi is, bombs can't drop in space, guys. Well, Empire happened in Empire, so fuck off.
TIE bombers are flying over an asteroid, and they drop bombs on it. They drop bombs out of a TIE fighter onto an asteroid.
How did that happen?
It
can't happen in
that's
space.
Not allowed in Star Wars. Just like how things can't have wheels in Star Wars.
Right?
Or treads. Sandcrawlers don't exist.
Right? Fucking... They're just wrong. Like, this is why Empire's like the worst movie now, too. That goes with right... Because bombs...
I mean, no bombs dropped in space in Phantom Menace, so automatically better movie.
Right?
I just, threw up in my mouth saying that. There's only one movie that's better than Phantom Menace.
You mean worse?
No, better.
Oh, and that movie, Rise of Skywalker.
I was gonna say,
Jumanji: The Next Level.
Christmas Special.
Oh, yeah.
Perfection. But yeah, that is really funny. That is hilarious. I'm sure, the people who hate the bomb scene in Last Jedi will have some dumb excuse like, oh, it was a proton bomb or something in Empire, so it makes sense.
It was a different kind of bomb.
It was a different kind of bomb.
Dan, I have a question for you.
People are a little stupid.
Out of the blue, nothing to do with it. Would you rather? No, this ain't a good question for you. Because you're not on Twitter.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Stop looking at Twitter while we're recording.
I was trying to get back to my document.
Through Twitter?
It's a habit. It's like where I just pull my phone up.
We have important things.
I have to get to my Google Drive document, and it disappears. So every time I get my phone, the first thing I go to is Twitter. So it's just habit, bro.
Well, don't do it.
Sorry.
No twatter.
Rise of Skywalker press tour is going on right now. I'm talking about the news. So, what was your favorite part of the trailer from Rise of Skywalker? So is that what you're talking about?
No. So what was your favorite part of the bombs dropping on an asteroid?
That they dropped. In space.
I like...
Hashtag not my Star Wars.
I also like how a Star Destroyer gets taken out by an asteroid. Like, Vader, brings the fleet in, and they're driving through the asteroid field, and just this giant one rams into the head of a Star Destroyer, and it just blows up.
Yeah.
And then, Vader's having his, little conference call, and the one guy just, flinches, and his hologram just disappears.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have to talk about the cave on Dagobah.
How the fuck do you feel when your giant capital ship gets taken out by a rock?
I feel greatly defeated. And I'd be like, I deserve to
Finally
die.
a worthy foe.
I deserve to die.
Oh yeah, the Dark Side cave on Dagobah.
Yeah, we almost forgot about that.
I don't think it's canon, but it makes a lot of
sense. Yeah, Last Jedi's canon when Rey goes into that Dark Side cave.
Stop! I don't know the explanation, because I know it's explained in something that the reason why Yoda went to Dagobah is because of this cave. Mm-hmm. Because it's a powerful dark side presence, and he's a powerful light side presence, so they balance each other out, and that's why he could never be found.
Yeah. So
the Force would never tell anyone he's there, because it just felt neutral.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's canon, but it makes the most sense.
I think that's... Yeah, I know that. That's what I've heard. That's what... I think that's canon.
That also kind of continues the theme with Luke going to Ahch-To. There's that powerful darkness there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was cut off from the Force anyway, so it really didn't matter.
Well, yeah. But I mean, powerful light, powerful dark.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he fights Vader and sees himself in the mask.
I like how he tries to go in there, and then Yoda's like, you won't need your weapons. And then Luke just keeps his weapons and goes in there.
He's like, okay, stretch the belt.
What? I want to see what would have happened if he would have went in there without his weapons.
Yeah.
Would Vision Vader try to swing at him and just kill him?
Maybe.
Or would it be if he gets hit by Vision Vader, he becomes Dark Side?
Interesting.
It corrupts him. I want to see the Dark Side Cave again.
We saw one in The Last Jedi.
No, the Dagobah one.
Mm. Well, Rey goes back to Act 2, so.
The Dagobah one.
Okay. But Rey got Act 2 again with the hood up. Cinema.
Scorsese.
How do you feel about Scorsese directing a Star Wars? A Star Wars picture.
I don't know anything about him.
But it'd be a picture.
You're not filling me with much confidence.
I'm sure it'd be good. It's be pretentious.
That's why I would hate it. Nothing I hate more than a pretentious thing.
Yeah. So anything else on Dagobah? I think other than the end where Luke leaves.
And the space worm.
Space worm, yeah.
I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm. They fly out of space worm.
Yeah, the cave they're in is a space worm and Han shoots its tongue.
And yeah, they gotta get out of there before it eats them.
I like the line of when they're when Leia's like, "Are you sure that's the best idea?" And Han's like, "We don't have time to discuss this in a committee." And Leia's like, "I'm not a committee."
And they're doing their best to pretend they're falling while they're.
I want to see the stabilized camera version of that.
Right.
I've seen there are videos that have that of like whenever you have like an earthquake in a movie, so the camera's shaking all over the place. If you stabilize it, you just see people like flailing around. It looks so hilarious.
Yeah, be good comedy. Good comedy.
Some might say cinema comedy.
Cinema.
And then you have Luke getting visions of the future.
This sounds familiar. I think that happened to somebody we know.
What a surprise! It ends up being a trap.
Leia says it first, guys. Fuck Akbar.
But so while Luke's training, he sees these visions, and it's like, I just imagine in Yoda's mind, he's like, "Oh, not this shit again."
Not again.
But then they just let Luke go.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? You can't really stop him. Yoda's 900 and Obi-Wan's dead.
You can just try to convince him it's not a good idea.
Yeah. Or, like, Yoda, I guess, could force pull a ship out of the sky and kill him.
That'd be cool.
You can do that. You can force pull a ship.
I know, he force pulled it out of the water.
Yeah. So while Luke's taking off, just make it crash into the surface.
Drown Luke.
You can never leave now. You can't leave until you can fly.
Scorsese would have killed Luke in the second movie.
And Lucas would have had him fuck Yoda in the second act.
And Railroad.
Especially Railroad. Listen, if it was written by George Railroad Martin, as soon as they got to Bespin, Lando, Han, and Leia would have had a three-way.
With the Ewoks? Dude, I bet there was...
On Bespin?
Oh, yeah, I don't care. But we gotta talk about, like, that. If George R. R. Martin directed episode 6, the ending scene would have just been an orgy. With the Ewoks. It would have been, like... They would have went to Pound Town, you know?
So are you saying that's how the last A Song
ends?
of Ice and Fire book ends, with just a giant orgy?
No, there's no Ewoks.
What? Is Railroad attracted to Ewoks?
No, he just... I don't know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, now on to Bespin.
Bespin! You got Lando introduced.
We meet your boy Lando. The fun thing about that thing is, kind of ties back. They do a nice job in Solo tying it back, which I didn't realize until we were watching this. How when they meet again, like at the end, very end of Solo, Han looks like he's about to punch Lando,
and then he hugs him.
That's what Lando does to Han in this movie. That's a nice little tie.
I like that little, the little connection there.
Yeah, connective tissue.
And it's like the same thing too, where Lando's like acting really pissed before he's about to punch him.
Because we're pretty sure, for the most part, they probably haven't seen each other since that moment, but they might have.
It's very unclear. It's implied that they did.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
It's implied in Return of the Jedi by some lines that Lando says that Han and Lando have met between Solo and Empire.
Maybe.
Because they talk about experiences we haven't seen yet. In Solo, we see it the first time they meet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be something in the middle. Plus, I can kind of see... I feel like they wouldn't consider each other friends if they hadn't interacted in between.
Yeah.
If their last interaction was Han literally taking Lando's ship, I can't imagine he would be like, yeah, let's go hide with Lando.
Well, he does turn him over to the Empire.
Yeah, but Han at least kind of trusted him at least a little bit.
Yeah, well, maybe... I don't know if Han trusted him, but he's like, this is like the only
option. That's true. I don't know. But yeah, you have... somehow the Empire got here first.
That's weird. I don't understand that part.
The only explanation I've ever heard for it is that because the Falcon's hyperdrive is still fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
it takes them a lot longer to get there, because even in hyperspace it makes them a lot slower.
Yeah.
So it takes them, I think it's like it takes them like a week or something longer than it should.
To get there?
Yeah, to get there, and that's how, because the Empire goes the other way.
They take the long route.
No. Well, because the Empire didn't know where they were going at first, so the Empire's zipping the other way, and then Han goes forward.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Empire gets there before them, as does Boba Fett, who is following the Falcon.
Yeah.
So the only explanation I've seen is that because the Falcon is damaged, its hyperdrive is damaged, it can't go as fast. So it's like basically going like 30, whereas like the Empire would be going like 60.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which
yeah, it's not very clear.
Yeah, the thing is that it's not ever made clear. Mm-hmm. I get that explanation, but it's never made clear. I don't think there's a canon.
There might be.
There might be, but it you know, they don't ever say it in the movie.
Yeah. And that's a problem.
Like, I feel like, you know, if I were to see Vader in the situation, I would have been like, what?
Where you been, son?
How the fuck?
What?
We saw you go the other way! You know?
Yeah.
You have the one instance of Boba actually being kind of smart by being where he belongs, in the trash.
Boba's not a real character, guys, and if you think so, you're wrong. Actually, no, you can believe whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, but, like...
He has comics where he's competent.
I just don't get Boba Fett. I just really don't. He kind of looks cool, but also, like...
Django and The Mandalorian both look a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they actually do stuff.
Yeah. My thing is that I can see...
One protects possibly the most important Star Wars character of all time.
Although I typically don't like...
Django protecting Boba. Not Baby Yoda, no.
Although I don't like the people who only like episodes 4 and 5.
You mean just 4?
No, usually it's 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
But like one thing is that in 5 you at least kind of get the feel that Boba's at least somewhat competent.
Yeah, a little.
Well, because he at least
he shoot does he shoot C-3PO or
no stormtroopers shot him. When
okay.
C-3PO wakes up, he's like stormtroopers.
Oh yeah.
But Boba Fett, you know, he was at least of some intelligence to track them to Bespin correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets Han by the end. He doesn't make any bad decisions in this one. But my thing is that 6 gets rid of any possibility of him being a good character.
And we'll get to that when we get there.
Yes.
There's a lot to say about Padawan. Just like
honestly,
how Luke Skywalker was a cowboy.
Honestly, I wish Forlom and Zuckuss would have followed him instead.
Dengar, man. Dengar is the dude. Boss, IG-88, they're all better than Boba.
Well, yeah.
Who's your guys' favorite bounty hunter? Leave it in the comments.
If it's not Embo, you're wrong.
No, I mean in this movie.
Okay. Well, I just meant in general.
Well, there's a lot of bounty hunters.
There are a lot of bounty hunters, that's fair. I like Sugi.
There's like Mando now, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of fucking bounty hunters now.
Right.
But yeah, they're on Bespin. You know, they're hiding out. 3PO gets shot.
Yeah. 3PO does.
Lando's being like he's being a nice guy. He's pretty convincing.
Yeah.
And you know, they all feel, you know, not safe, but as safe as you can.
Right.
You know, they get the Falcon starting to get fixed, and then Lando brings them to the most awkward family dinner of all time.
Right. Han gets to meet the in-laws for the first time not knowing.
I love the scene. It was so cool to me as a kid, because I didn't realize that Vader had robotic limbs at the time. So when Han shoots Vader and Vader just blocks it with his hand.
Yeah.
As a kid, I was like, what?
Yeah, you're like, what is happening?
I was so amazed.
You're like, Vader's like a god.
He just absorbs blaster bolts.
I think that helps him lead into like how he's such a terrifying monster.
Oh, yeah. You know he made sure his robotic limbs don't feel pain.
Right? I don't think he feels pain. Well,
no, pain is power.
Pain drives him.
Yeah,
he feels a lot of pain.
He's in excruciating pain at all times.
Yeah.
But I'm sure his hands don't feel pain, because I'm pretty sure that's something he does a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He does it in Rogue One, too. In the hallway scene, there's like one guy tries to shoot at him.
Some skin off.
No. When one guy tries to shoot him, he just blocks it with his hand.
Pain is power. I will tear part of my skin off to become a powerful.
Why were you looking at your forearm for that? He doesn't have forearms.
Or possibly.
There you go. Right from his gooch.
Right from his gooch.
Yeah, you have. I want to see. I want to see that dinner scene so bad.
Right?
I know it wasn't filmed, but I want to see it.
I'm like, pass the salt, baby.
Because Vader just sits down afterwards, so they all just sit down for dinner.
Right?
And
what
Vader.
What do you think they eat? Like, do you think they had some blue milk? Maybe
There was some blue liquid on that table. I'm
maybe
pretty sure.
some
Fried Nerf.
maybe a few quarter portions. You know,
I like fried Nerfs.
fried Nerfs.
Those are just cows, by the way.
Yeah, Nerf herder.
Yeah, if you Nerf herd, you're just a cowboy.
Like I said, Luke's a cowboy earlier.
Luke's a cowboy.
Save a horse.
He's a moisture farmer.
Yeah, he farms cowboy.
Water.
So cowboys can farm.
That he
Nerfs.
farms that cowboy drip.
That drip drip.
That drip.
That is. I don't know.
Does that
about
make you uncomfortable?
The word drip. I feel like that's another term in culture these days, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. That drip.
I've just heard it on YouTube. I don't actually know what it means.
Let me Urban Dictionary that drip.
That drip.
Let's see what that actually means.
Get that baller cowboy drip. Han's kind of got that cowboy drip going on.
Wait, there's a meme for it.
That's probably why I heard it on YouTube.
Let's see.
We must sound like the biggest boomers of all time right now.
Yeah. Got that drip.
We're such boomers, dude.
Got that drip means you're in possession of alcohol, and whoever you say it to are willing to share it with you.
That is not the context I heard it in before, but okay.
Only see the word drip.
Yeah, just drip.
When your bling is iced out, but that shit melted for all your hot bars, and you got the drip. That's the one.
Yeah, Han's got that drip.
Han's got that drip for show.
Have you ever heard of the Han song in Star Wars Connect?
Solo.
I'm solo. I'm solo.
But yeah, another one. Just another word for a Met swag.
God,
Han's got that drip.
God, we're such boomers.
Okay, boomer.
Remember, guys, boomer is a mentality, not an age group.
Yes, and a lot of people in that mentality are really old.
Yeah, because a lot of them are in that age group. But you can be a boomer and not be a boomer, if you know what I mean.
Okay, boomer.
You can be a boomer but have the brain of a zoomer.
What's a zoomer?
Gen Z. Come on, boomer! Come on!
I'm a millennial, so I don't know.
Come on, you Gen Zer.
Gen Zoomer.
You Gen...
I love how it's boomer, zoomer, millennial, and then just Y or X or whatever one's the one after boomer.
Well, there's one generation that's just called the greatest generation, which I feel like is the most pretentious generation.
Scorsese's from that generation.
No! Everyone from that generation is dead.
Except Scorsese.
That's like from the 1800s.
Except Scorsese. He's searching for God. He found him, and then he kept searching.
He was searching for God, and then he found himself.
Oh, God. We need to do like for our channels. We got to review all the Scorsese films.
Oh no!
We talk about him too much. He's a hot meme right now.
Our next one should be the Norm of the North franchise.
Or Album of the Chip. I like Air Buddies, honestly. Air Buddy franchise.
We should also do
Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Dinosaur.
There's only one. Oh, you mean Land Before Time?
No, just the movie Dinosaur.
Like the good dinosaur?
No, just the movie Dinosaur.
I don't know what movie that is.
I used to watch it as a kid.
Sounds bad.
I'm sure it wasn't good, but I have fond memories of it.
Open season. There's like 4 of those.
They made more than one? That's like when I learned that there was a third Cinderella. No idea what happens in the second one.
Right.
There's a Cinderella 3?
What?
Well, it's like the Norm of the North
There's
thread.
like 5 of them. Like, who the fuck?
The Norm of the North thread on Reddit, where it was like, this is the 5th Norm of the North movie, and there's just all caps underneath. They made more than one!
Right?
I thought this was the second one.
You know, Rob Schneider's just like, I'll do anything to get these movies made. I need a job.
So Norm of the North, Hoth, Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, Last Jedi, Ray. So yeah. Bespeen.
I like how they have to test out the carbonite freezing chamber. So they're like, just throw Han in there.
Yeah. Got tested for Luke, and then Han gets frozen in carbonite, and then apparently he's in there for like a whole year.
Yes, because there's a year gap between 5 and 6. That is canon. Yeah. Which, to be fair, is the second shortest gap of movies.
Shortest being 7 and 8.
Yeah, the shortest being 7 and 8.
Rogue 1 and 4.
I'm talking about Skywalker Saga.
The ones that are actually cinema.
I'm talking about the ones that are cinema here.
Hey,
sir.
Would you like some popcorn with that?
Why don't they make a Star Wars 1.5?
No.
Like Lion King 1.5?
Don't they have like a Lion King 2.5 too?
Do they? They have a Lion King 3?
No.
Wait a minute. Then why do they have a 2.5? Okay.
1.5, 2.5.
Carbon freezing.
Carbon freezing.
Yeah,
they freeze him, and Lando's like, yeah, he's still alive. I gotta check on him, And
then they give him to Boba.
And Boba's
because Boba couldn't capture him on his own.
Because Boba sucks. And he's bringing him back to Yabba.
And I like how the whole time Boba's like, he's no use to me dead, and Vader's like, yeah, whatever. We'll give you a couple credits.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, why didn't they carbon freeze C-3PO? Why don't they just carbon freeze all of them?
Because he probably doesn't see the rest of them as much of a threat.
Well, then there's no time, because Luke's showing up right now.
Yeah, they need to get Luke more than anything.
Luke's the only one that really matters to Vader.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know his daughter's right there. Yeah, and then you have It's a Trap. Leia said it first.
Leia better than Akbar. Proof here.
But this one didn't become the meme because her saying it's a trap here makes sense.
Yeah.
Akbar saying it's a trap in episode 6 is like a...
Doy.
Well, gee, do you think?
Mm-hmm.
This one it makes sense because Luke is not very bright. Even though he was warned like 12 times not to go here, he was like, yeah, well, I'm going anyway.
Right.
I actually am a big fan of Vader and Luke's fight in this movie.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
I like it so much because Vader just doesn't want to kill Luke because it's his son. Mm-hmm. So Vader's just like fucking with him the whole time. Like, I love the part where Vader just lowers his lightsaber and starts throwing boxes at him. And Luke's
just like, ah!
Yeah, Luke's like trying to swing, but he's swinging the other way.
That's funny, yeah.
You can it's so obvious that Vader's just like...
Luke's trying his hardest.
Luke is trying his absolute heart out.
Making some of those cringy faces, like... Well, I saw what I just did there, right?
Yeah, they also saw me imitating the Vader swings there.
Yeah, we're good visual storytellers.
We're amazing. Yeah, I really like how it's like Vader's just fucking with him, and Luke is trying his goddamn heart out.
Mm-hmm. And of course,
because he's basically a Padawan.
Yeah, he's like really low level. He don't know shit.
Yeah, he's had like virtually no training going up against the Dark Lord.
So doesn't this make... What does this do? Does this make Luke worse of a character, or does it make Vader less of a character?
Well, it doesn't make either of them less of a character. It makes Vader more of a character because he doesn't want to kill his son.
Yeah, but he's also not doing his job.
Because he wants to rule the galaxy with his son.
Not Palpatine.
The only thing that matters to Anakin is his family.
Yeah, and then he tried to kill Padme.
Well, yes, but the only thing that ends up turning him in the end is his love for his son. He clearly cares about Luke more than anything else.
Yeah, Luke destroyed it, so he only won't. Never mind.
I think it makes Vader better, honestly.
Does it make Luke worse then because he sucks?
Well, it makes Luke way more arrogant that he thinks he can take Vader now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is like a true Anakin moment of like, no, I'm taking him now. This is like him versus Dooku.
Yeah, but at least Anakin's tragic. Luke's just annoying.
But because it's the whole theme, Luke, I feel like even in Return of the Jedi, Vader would have just killed Luke. Honestly. It's more of an even fight there, at least. Luke is actually a competent fighter by then.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like if Vader was going all out, he would have just destroyed Luke.
Yeah.
But it's just, the only reason why he doesn't is because it's his son. Join me.
Join me.
Also, it's kind of ridiculous, but I love how when he finally does land a scratch on Vader, Vader has that, hoo-wah!
It's like, oh, you got me? I'm going to kill you now.
I'm going to yeet your ass.
And of course, we get the reveal of the son is a huge moment the first time watching these.
Huge.
So one of the biggest reveals in cinematic history.
They're so big that no one nowadays can truly appreciate it.
Right? Because you hear about it all the time. And it's like, that twist at the time was like, I wonder what it'd be like to live through that moment not knowing.
How earth-shattering it would have been.
Especially if you idolize Luke Skywalker like some people did for some reason.
But it's very much like... Yeah, it's definitely a huge moment in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It had such a huge impact. Still part of the zeitgeist, as you like to say.
The zeitgeist.
But yeah. Luke has some pretty good faces here.
Yeah, when he's holding the thing, he's like... I guess...
Well, because, he was like a new actor at the time.
Yeah.
So he was like being way over the top.
Who would have thought the guy making weird facial things, not making very good faces in his first acting career, would be one of the best voice actors of all time,
That's fair.
It's fair.
He really doesn't do much on screen.
Yeah. He was really good in The Last Jedi, though, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, because obviously his acting is significant, infinitely better.
Yeah, I don't think he was a great actor here. I don't think anybody's like superb acting in any of these original trilogy, except maybe Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan.
Well, the thing is also I feel like it's of its era where it's very like campy.
Yeah,
everybody's like kind of hamming it up because that was the era.
Yeah, bomb dropping in space. That's what happened.
I mean, if you ever watch anything from the 70s, it's always really like hammed up.
Yeah,
I feel. Very campy.
Hammed up is a very boomer term.
Well, I was talking about,
family dinner, ham,
Boomer times.
Boomer times. These are boomer generations.
I don't think boomers were born in the 70s.
No, but they were like...
They were of age in the 70s.
They were at least 14 in the 70s.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just like Anakin and Padme.
Fuck.
But, so I would pass a dialogue breakdown from Attack the Clones again. No.
I like how in this scene Luke realizes that suicide is better than going with Vader.
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make that joke.
Okay. I think it also might be that he realized that no one in Star Wars takes fall damage.
That is true. No one has ever taken fall damage in Star Wars, except Mace Windu, apparently.
There are rumors going around that he's getting his own Disney Plus show.
I love how Samuel Jackson is literally like almost 80 years old, if not 80 years old. He's come back by Samuel Jackson or play Mace Windu. That's fucking awesome. He doesn't look like he's 80 though.
No,
he looks like he's fucking like crisp 50.
I've heard, I don't know how true it is. I've heard rumors that he's getting his own show.
Hopefully,
I hope so.
Will it take place after?
Yeah, it'll be after 3.
It's gonna be so hard to explain where this dude's been the whole time.
Yeah.
You know where he's been making Finn.
Did you just hear that crazy voice crack?
He's been making Finn.
Yeah. That timeline doesn't sync up.
Now we're making Finn's. Well, Mace Windu's can live to be 100. He's Samuel Jackson. He's already 100. So Mace Windu, man.
He was an adult in episode 1.
So Finn's 30, or is he Rey's age?
Finn's in between. I don't know Finn's exact age. He's somewhere between Kylo and Rey, though. He's somewhere between 19 and 30. I think he's closer to Kylo, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's up mid-20s.
I don't like this idea, but it's really funny if you think about it. The Reylo shippers are like I said, they're very Han and Leia because she's technically 19.
Well, it's literally the exact same age gap.
And Han's 30, Kylo's 30.
Yeah, it's the same age gap.
It's kind of funny.
It's 11 years for both of them.
Yeah, and Reylo's gonna happen. So because of that.
I'm Googling it right now. How old is Finn? That is not who I wanted to look up.
Who did it make you look up? Huckleberry Finn?
No. Fucking whatever, it's Adventure Time. How old is Finn Star Wars? How old is Finn in The Force Awakens? 23, so he's closer to Rey.
Yeah, that makes sense. It'd be funny if he was 40 and he's I'm
That'd be funny if he was 50. But, yeah. So Luke realized he couldn't take fall damage, and he falls out the bottom of Cloud City. And he lands on that thing after his hand got cut off, and he lost his lightsaber, and then Maz Kanata snatched it.
Snatch that shit.
If you look really close, you can see one frame where Maz Kanata shows up and takes the lightsaber.
I don't think she got it. Someone gave it to her.
I still like the idea that it just fell to her planet.
Right? I like that too.
People would be so mad. I just drifted here.
Right. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back. What else? We got anything else?
It had strucketh back. You have Luke and Leia being connected for the first time.
Yeah, I like that moment because like I love the Force connection. That's why I love Kylo and Rey's Force connection so much. I just like the idea of like being connected through the Force when you're not together.
Yeah, because he tries to reach out to Ben, and Ben is just not listening.
Ben.
And then they come and save him. And Lando's on the Falcon now, and stole.
Oh yeah, Lando helped them out, got him out of there. You know.
Yeah, everybody knows what happens in Empire.
Yeah, it's like. Yo, diddly diddly do. I don't know.
Yeah,
what I just said.
yeah.
I'm kind of. I don't know.
Kind of tapped out.
Yeah, I feel like I started out good, then I started just falling.
It's yo diddly, yo dazzled out.
Yo diddly diddly do. I like how C-3PO's on Chewie's back the whole time.
Yeah,
that's fun.
And he's just complaining the whole time.
Right.
I want that skin in Battlefront.
That'd be cool.
Legendary skin. And
but they can't. They might make droids playable characters now, so they can't risk putting C-3PO in the back. They could mess up the... You know?
In Heroes vs. Villains, you can have Kylo Ren fight Anakin Skywalker. I don't think it matters if you have 3PO on Chewie's back. And
well, of course they can't. Of course they can fight each other. They're not the same person.
What I mean is that time doesn't matter.
No, but you can't have a playable character and then that character be on somebody else's back.
They're not going to be able
He's in two places at once.
They're not going to let... Vader and Anakin! It's the same body.
I thought you were of the mind they're not the same person.
Not the same person, but it's the same body. No. Also, I'm not of that mind that is an actual canon fact.
What?
That Vader and Anakin aren't the same person. They just inhabit the same body.
Like how Batman's actually Batman and Bruce Wayne's the disguise.
Sure. I don't know much about Batman, but sure. Yeah. But that is an actual fact. Vader and Anakin are two separate people.
I combine them together, personally.
In one body. Because otherwise there's no way...
To be fair, Vader doesn't have much of a body.
Because there's no way Anakin could get into Force Heaven after killing children and destroying civilizations.
But he saved Luke, his son. That's all that matters.
You don't get into heaven from that.
In Star Wars, you do.
No, you don't! Clearly not, because they're two different people.
I think they're the same person.
Well, canon, they're not.
Like, same body, same person.
My body, my rules.
So he has multiple personality disorder. That's what happened.
Essentially.
Okay.
I could see it, because Anakin had such a fucked up life, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's basically a multiple personality. Only via the Force. So
I just like keeping them as one. But also Anakin's. I actually kind of like Anakin more after these rewatches.
I like Anakin more after the Clone Wars.
He's such a tragic character.
I like Anakin a lot in the Clone Wars, because that's where he actually gets development.
I love a good tragedy. That's why I'm a big fan of
I know what you're about to say.
What am I going to say?
Daenerys.
Who's Daenerys? Daenerys Targaryen? Yes.
No, Daenerys.
That's why I'm also a big fan of
Smith.
Of Pluto from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Dude, he's such a tragic character.
I'm a big fan of I don't know. I couldn't think of an example.
Of Olaf from Frozen.
Lump Baka. Lumpy.
Hero from Big Hero 6.
Is his full name Lump Baka? Or is his full name Lumpy?
Lumpy with two E's in an I.
Why isn't it Lump Baka?
Because he doesn't want to be...
What's the name of that Legends character that is just replacement Chewie after Chewie died? It's something Baka.
New Baka.
Even they're not that dumb.
Like new Chewbacca, get it?
Even they're not that dumb.
Well, you've seen Legends, they're kind of dumb.
But they're not that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
They were dumb enough to kill Chewie with a moon, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fuck, I'll remember it at some point. It's like Dubaka.
That's been The Empire Strikes Back. Do you know what it's time to do? Rank.
Core,
the movies.
Rank core.
So, our current rankings.
We have, 6 right now?
6. Number 6, The Phantom Menace. Will it be dethroned today as last place?
Will it stay
Never.
in 6th place?
Number 5, Attack the Clones. Criminally Low. Number 3, Solo. Number 4, A New Hope. I got thrown off with the numbers. Number 3, A New Hope. Number 2, Revenge of the Sith. Number 1, Rogue. 1, A Star Wars Story. Cinema.
Why don't you fight for, if Attack of the Clones is criminally underrated, why don't you fight for it being over Solo?
It should be number 1. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was like memeing on it.
That's
But
fair.
I do really love that movie. So, Dan.
Where should this movie go?
I'm honestly thinking right below Phantom Menace. Because Phantom Menace is number 1, so we gotta put this one at number 2. Am I reading this list right?
Sure.
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 Okay. So our new rankings, number 1, The Phantom Menace. Now,
You're goddamn right, Phantom Menace is number 1.
you bet your I am.
Well, this is either the first or the second.
Number 1.
Yeah,
This is number 1.
this is number
Easily.
1. Pretty easily.
Yes. The Empire.
Striketh.
Back.
We wouldn't be a real Star Wars fan podcast if Empire Strikes Back wasn't the first, at least at some point.
Yeah.
Whether it's dethroned later, you'll have to find out.
Our current ranking is number 1, Empire Strikes Back. Number 2, Rogue One. Number 3, Revenge of the Sith. Number 4, A New Hope. It lines up.
It does.
Number 5, Attack of the Clones. Number 6, The Phantom Menace. Number 7, The Clone Wars movie.
Number 8, the Christmas special.
Number 9, The Ewok specials.
Number 10, the Jawa specials.
Number 11.
The R2-D2 arc of Clone Wars.
Yes!
I'm
And
sorry,
then-
your favorite arc.
And then our new number 1, Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. Thank you. Followed by number 2, Clone Wars.
I'm the reverse of that.
Okay.
Well,
Dave.
really, the real number 1 is Dave Filoni.
Baby Yoda.
It's not a movie.
It's the only movie I need. Now it's time to... We have one fight to rank.
We do.
1. And I'm not going to read them all.
Unless we really want to stretch and put Wampa in there, but no.
This list is getting long, so I don't feel like reading them all.
There'll be a visual on screen for it. There has been for the past, 5. Or not
I'll
5.
read them once we rank the new one.
Okay, yeah. That makes the most sense.
But I don't want to read them twice. So,
And there'll be a visual on screen if it's hard to follow.
we have the Obi-Wan... No. Anakin... Luke Vader. I'm broke.
We have the Obi-Wan versus Luke fight that you've all been waiting for.
I think... You can look at the list if you need help. So know where it ranks. I personally think this is number 3. Between
Nice.
Anakin and Obi-Wan and Mustafar, and below that and above Duel of the Fates.
Yes,
Yes?
I agree.
Are you sure it's not last?
No.
Okay.
This is a great fight.
Yeah, because I think that it's not as technically good as Duel of the Fates, but I think it's a little more emotionally there, and plus the
Yes.
reveal. Of
The reveal
father.
is just so legendary.
And Luke makes so many legendarily bad faces, so
And you have...
it's funny with him getting hit by the
Yeah,
things, like you were saying.
I love that scene so much.
I like how long how like Duel of the Fates it's like a sequence too. It goes through multiple rooms.
Yeah.
and I always like that.
Yeah. I very much agree it should go there.
Okay, our new rankings. Number 1, Vader hallway scene. Number 2, Anakin vs. Obi-Wan Mustafar. Number 3, Vader vs. Luke. Death Bespin.
Death Bespin.
Number 4, Duel of the Fates. Number 5, Obi-Wan vs. Jango. Number 6, The Colosseum. Number 7, Palpy vs. Yoda. Number 8, Windu vs. Palpy. Number 9, Dryden vs. Kira. Number 10, Chirrut vs. Stormtroopers. Number 11, Anakin and Obi vs. Dooku. Number 12, Old Ben vs. Vader. Number 13, The Trio vs. Dooku. And number 14, Grievous vs. Obi-Wan.
We'll actually have more than one fight in the next movie.
Oh yeah, Ewok's going big time up.
That doesn't count.
You talk about when Ewoks get in a fight? Every Ewok fight's going on this list. This list is going to be 30 next movie.
Oh no!
Ewok represent, yo. I regret every word I just said. I sound like a dumbass.
That's the first time today.
Yes, Dan. That's the first time today.
Okay. I think we're on to another segment now, though.
No, we're done. See you guys next week.
Oh, okay, bye.
No. And time for the medals of bravery. How did this happen? We are smarter than this. This was very hard for us to think about. There's no moment that's like obligatorily bad. We could do the incest kiss, but also
I love that.
We could do.
That sounds really bad out of context. Don't
we could do.
That guy's mustache, you said.
That guy's mustache. Just him having a mustache.
I don't remember his name. I already forgot.
I don't think he had a name.
No, they said it like 3 times.
I call him Mustachio.
He's the guy who gets killed before Nita becomes... Or not Nita. Piet. Before Piet becomes Admiral.
Yeah.
The guy who jumped out of light speed too close to the Hoth system.
We'll call him...
Mustachioed pedophile.
We'll call him Old Ben, too.
No.
Like the Death Star 2.
He doesn't deserve the title of Old Ben.
Yeah, he's a shitty mustache.
The only other person in the Star Wars universe who deserves the title of Old Ben after Obi-Wan is Ben Solo when he becomes old.
Because he's getting redeemed.
Yes.
And he'll rise with the Skywalkers.
But I'm trying to, there's not really too much that's like...
The one moment I think that sticks out weird, and just weird plotting and doesn't make sense to us not explain well enough, will be our moment for this one, mainly because there's nothing really that bad.
Yeah.
And that will be somehow the Empire beating them to Bespin.
Yeah. Empire and Boba beating them to Bespin. We talked about this earlier in the podcast, right? Or we talked about it before?
Talked about it.
Okay. Yeah, I know it has an explanation, but it's not made clear by the movie.
Yeah, and I don't...
It's not a huge...
I don't even know if the explanation is actually real or not.
Yeah. I think it's more of a fan explanation.
Yeah, and when fans have to explain things, it's not good.
Yeah, so it's not like... It's also not something that's super egregious, but there's really nothing that's, like, egregious in this one.
Other than the guy's mustache.
Shit. You right.
Right. Or the ice cream man.
Oh, he has an extensive backstory.
But yeah, that will be We're Smart in this moment. And now it's time for the That's So Wizard moment.
That's so wizard, Annie! Yippee! Yippee! Kitster! Do you know that Kitster became a rebel in Legends?
Yeah, that's cool. We need more Kitster, honestly. I'm 100% serious.
Everywhere.
We need more Kitster.
I want more Sebulba.
Nah, he's dead.
He didn't die.
I killed him.
Why?
I was part of
You were a pod racer?
No, I was part of what's his name's crew. Memphis Nest crew.
Ben Thick?
Yeah, Ben Thick, and then what's the kid? Warwick Davis's character?
Weasel.
I was part of that crew. You know what I mean? I didn't mean that. Making me
wow.
Man. God.
Wow. Racist.
No.
Reported Holocron-Cast co-host racist? ? Big if true.
Fuck off.
I'd be a great writer for a internet.
For a clickbait website?
Yeah. I'd be a good BuzzFeed writer.
You'd be great as the White House correspondent for Trump.
I would be the best. Big if true.
Big if true.
New writer for the...
What's the best moment in this movie, Dan? When Han says, I know, to I love you. When Han calls her your worshipness.
There's a lot of...
When Han gets frozen in carbonite.
It's the same moment.
When Yoda says there's another hope and we realize, holy shit, Rey's the other hope.
No! It's actually when Yoda's hitting R2, screaming mine.
Mine! That's actually a good one. It's either Dagobah or Hoth, probably.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Good thoughts. We're gonna go with no.
I feel like it almost should go to the I Am Your Father scene though, just because of its impact on humanity.
Yeah, not the fight, but the I Am Your Father reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I feel like it kind of has to go to that.
Honorable mentions though, the Hoth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dagobah Yoda stuff, because like we said, Yoda was good once, and then the prequels just ruined him, and then Baby Yoda's here to redeem him. He's here to finish what he started. Actually, no.
No, he's not.
He's here to fix what he started.
Yoda didn't even start the Jedi.
Who started the Jedi?
This is back in ye olden times.
He started the modern version of the Jedi of the Republic.
Kind of. He was there for it.
Yeah, he was there for most of it. So you're Leo's responsible for the sins of his old people, even though
I think Windu and the whole council is just as much to blame.
Yeah, even though you shouldn't be held to the mistakes that your people before you made, but fuck Yoda. Except in this movie and episode 8 and the baby.
And he's fine in 6 when he dies.
Yeah. Spoiler.
But yeah, it has to go to the "I'm your father" scene.
Yeah.
We would be remiss, but honorable mention:
He doesn't
Hoth, Dagobah.
I am your father.
No, I am your father.
No, I am your sister.
That is a weird thing that everyone misquotes that as Luke, I am your father.
But he just says, I am.
No, he says, no, I am your father. Because the line before that is, he told me you killed him.
No.
No, I am your father. That's a weird thing that a lot of people misquote.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time for the chosen.
The Yosen one.
Also known as the boy who lived.
But we're done with Harry Potter now.
So Harry Potter gets the medal?
Yeah, you're right.
No, Snape should get the medal.
Who does this one go to? What are our contenders? What are our...
I think Rey's a contender, but she's the one. Okay, I need to stop doing that, but I love it so much. I love joking around like that.
It's good for the bit.
Yes.
I just want to see what happens in like the future.
When we have an audience.
When we have like comments.
Yeah.
I want to see the comments that are like, why the fuck does he keep bringing up Rey?
Yeah. I love
it's like a half inside joke, but
yeah, because I gotta play it up.
Yeah.
I have to. I would die for you, Daisy.
That's not creepy.
It's not.
Our contenders are
I would
Admiral.
die for a lot of people, Dan.
Our contenders are Admiral Piet,
Only 3 people I would die for.
General Veers,
Mustache guy,
Snowtrooper number 7. Rest in peace.
Snape,
the giant creature that eats R2 on Dagobah,
Rey,
the worm, Old Ben, Young Ben,
Middle Ben,
General Grievous,
Papa Palpatine.
Palpatine was in this movie. Boba Fett.
Okay, you're done. The only contenders are Vader or Han. Because I just loved Han in this movie. Your worshipfulness.
Han is great in this film.
I'm just gonna start calling people that think they're better than me your worshipfulness. Cocky people, you know. Okay, your worshipfulness. You think you're so great.
I'll tell you something after we turn off the recording.
Yeah? Okay. I'll make sure you won't forget.
So I think it should go to Vader.
Yes. Probably. Because this is his movie.
This is his movie. It's
he's definitely the standout.
He's the one who's getting shit done, coming in and actually being the Empire that strikes back.
Oh shit, that does happen in this movie. Oh man, he's the Empire.
He crushed the rebellion on Hoth.
And he killed more Empire people than Rebels. So
and
he knows how to beat himself.
A thing you talked about in our last review on A New Hope was someone who's competent would surround themselves with people who are competent.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the big problem you had with Tarkin.
Yes.
Vader is doing that in the most extreme sense. Where the second you're incompetent, you're not good enough anymore. Mm-hmm. Bye, kid!
Bye, Admiral Piet? No.
So he probably dies.
He should.
Later on.
Yeah.
So, Vader has that, where he's like, well, if you're not good enough to be part of the 501st...
501st, baby!
Vader's Legion. Vader's Fist, as it's called.
808!
And then, of course, he has the I'm Your Father reveal, the great fight with Luke.
Yeah,
it's got to be Vader.
He's kicking ass.
He's kicking ass, taking names.
He's getting Han, he's putting carbonite.
He can deal with the insufferableness that is the non-character of Boba Fett.
He broke Luke's world by telling him he was his daddy.
How different would the world be today if he said, no, I'm your daddy?
If that was made in 2019, yeah.
You think he would say that?
If Star Wars didn't exist and it was 2019 made, yeah, he said, I'm your daddy.
Oh, no.
Daddy's a very 2019 thing.
Oh, no. I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but it's just facts of life,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
So that's the medals.
That's the medals. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Like I said up top, we got one more before On the Road to Skywalker. Sorry, we're cutting it off early.
We'll come back to it later.
Yeah, so any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments below.
Like, favorite, subscribe.
Hit us up on the Twitter. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want us to talk about after this. After the rise of Skywalker.
Follow us on Vimeo.
Follow us on Vimeo. Yeah, that's the money one, right? Where you give people money. No, that's Venmo. Follow us on Venmo.
Follow us on Venmo. Follow us on Twitch.
Follow us on WhatsApp. I don't know if you follow on WhatsApp.
I don't think you do.
I don't fucking know. Follow us on Snapchat.
Follow us on Walmart.
Follow us. Yeah, go to our Amazon wish list.
Or joint Amazon wish list.
It's just a bunch of Pokemon cards. But yeah, let us know what you thought. If you like, subscribe. Just tell us what you want. Tell us what you want more.
Let me know someone's out there.
Just yeah. Goodbye. Thanks for listening.
Peace!